So tell me what the convoy looks like right now. You all have been in an airplane at times flying over it, and I've heard anywhere between 10 and
Yeah,
12 miles long.
way more. Yesterday, by the time we got to Monrovia, Indiana, the convoy was reportedly 30 miles long. So today, I don't know what it is because we had a lot of people join the convoy yesterday from Monrovia, Indiana. And so I'm anxious to actually get an account because Michael Yan is up in an airplane or was earlier today with a friend of ours. And so I'm anxious to see if they have an estimation of the convoy from their eyes. But I
How did
expect it
these
to probably maybe
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I said I expect it to be, if not 40 miles long, even longer. There's just it's we feel like we get to the front of it and then we go another mile and we catch up to yet another chain of it. So it's kind of like there's a little bit of gaps here and there because it's so long. But I don't think I've seen the very front, and I don't think I've seen the very tip. And we've stopped and pulled over. I mean, we stopped and filmed at the very beginning. We were cutting a show out earlier today, and we were on the side of the road for a good 15 minutes. The convoy was moving. It wasn't like just doing 20 miles an hour. It was moving, and it was still going. So I don't know how long that is, but 15 minutes at 50 or 60 miles an hour, what is that? You know what I mean? So that's at least 15 miles long there, and there was still tons more of it to go. So it's interesting. It's a great thing to see. Whoopsie.
How
Hang
do
on,
the
this truck
people who
wants
are
to get in.
standing on the how do the people who are standing on the side of the road know when to show up time-wise? I mean, I know they know kind of the day that you're going to be rolling through town, but are they out there standing for hours waiting for you to come by?
Yes, yes, they are. They're standing for hours waiting for us to come by. There's text messages if you go to the peoplesconvoy.org. Not only can you donate there, but you can sign up for text messages. And they are really pretty good at kind of giving you an estimation of where the convoy is, when they're going to pull over, etc. And of course, if you have friends in the convoy, like I'm doing, I'm sharing my location with people so they can track me on their iPhone in real time where my geolocation is. So I'm sure there's a lot of that going on. And of course, if you have a CB radio, you can jaw with the truckers as well.
Don't forget, you can support my work and my ability to get you these interviews from the Truckers Convoy by checking out my sponsors. The first is AllisonWinePromo.com. That's Allison with 1L winepromo.com. You get 50% off my favorite Malbecs from Argentina and 50% off shipping. One of these comes from a vineyard at 8,950 feet. That's an extreme altitude Malbec, as well as one from the oldest vineyard in Argentina. Again, that's AllisonWinePromo.com. Also, check out TwinEngineCoffee.com/Allison. These are Nicaraguan roasts, also high altitude and USDA certified organic. They have a wide variety of roasts you can choose from, and a Caturra tea, which is tea you make from the coffee fruits. But wherever you are, sip to free speech, and thanks for supporting my channel. Back from commercial break looking totally different, and it's a different day because we lost Ann, but that's okay because now everybody can see me outside in my farm glory, and Ann wearing her hat and back on the road for the People's Convoy. And the question I have, since we're now a day after we were originally recording, there's been some news that's come out about at least one person leaving the convoy saying something about false flags. There's this other guy who I know isn't part of the convoy who's been telling people not to participate because it's going to be used by government agitators or somehow going to become another January 6th event. So I'm just curious, what is the truth behind all of these claims? And it seems like a lot of drama coming out of there, but I'm not really sure what to believe.
So really at the very tip of the spear is the People's Convoy could not be more clear, Allison, that they have zero, and I cannot say it loud enough, zero, capital ZERO, intention of going into Washington, D.C. They've stated it not only on their press kit, on their Facebook page, on their website, thepeoplesconvoy.org, and all media hits that they do, including ones that journalists like myself that are embedded covering this. It is said over and over and over when they launch, when they rally at night, when they, this has been the constant theme. It's about unity, it's about peace, and it's about sending a message of unconstitutional mandates for the jab. That's all this is about. They're meeting in Hagerstown, Maryland, at the Hagerstown Speedway tonight, and they'll be there all weekend. What I have heard is there is some discussion about members of Congress coming to the People's Convoy to meet with them, hear their grievances. With respect to anybody else doing anything else, they don't represent the People's Convoy. The People's Convoy is doing everything they can to maintain peace, unity, and zero interaction with anybody on the inside of the Beltway because they don't have any interest in that. That's not what this is about. This is sending a message of clarity about no mandates. If Congress wants to come and meet with them, please come to Hagerstown to the Speedway. They'll be there all weekend. And I believe there is some discussion of a potential press conference. The details have not been manifested or have not been presented yet clearly. So up until anything else is total conjecture. And you know what, Allison, we had heard early on that there was people that were trying to infiltrate this convoy. I'm sure there probably are people infiltrating multiple convoys. That's what we have learned from January 6th, which is why this convoy will not go to DC, because they don't want to be entrapped in some sort of plan to sabotage the good word and the good messaging and the good intentions of this convoy.
Can you clarify for me? Because talking to Josh, he said the convoy was going to go to the DC area, but like not into the Capitol or into the monument area. Okay. So where are you going to end? Where's the
Hagerstown Speedway, Hagerstown, Maryland. Okay. Speedway, Maryland, not the District of Corruption. Yeah, there is no intention of going into that Beltway area because nothing good happens in the Beltway. They have so far mandated this country into an oblivion. They're trying to start another war. They have cut off our energy independence. They have increased interest rates. They have devalued our currency. They've driven up inflation. I mean, what good has come out of that District of Corruption inside the Beltway? Zero. So why even enter there? You can't negotiate with terrorists, and they're holding this country hostage with their policies. The People's Convoy is the government. We the people. This isn't just about truckers. When you listen to the messaging coming from Brian Brazzi, this isn't just about truckers. This is about we the people. In fact, this convoy is full of cars and SUVs and what's the word I'm looking for? Winnebagos, etc., driving with the truckers. But it's a message of unity. There's no, hey, we're going to go to DC and do what Antifa does and the BLM does, which is burn the city down. We have no intention of doing any of that. It's not even discussed. I talk to these people every day, and they're all about peace and unity, Allison. So
can you show me? Can you show me what it looks like today?
Yeah. Well, we are actually we stopped and got off. Okay. So we're at the very tail end. I think there's a truck right in front of us, but we're moving at a pretty good clip now. We're doing a little over 60 miles an hour. So I'd say we're in the middle. We're in the middle, way past where the main trucks are. We're in sort of the automobile and there's some people passing us. Yeah, I'll show you some people passing us. We're also in the automobile and RV section. So you see like stuff like this going through with the convoy. So the main trucks are, oh God, I'm going to say 20 miles ahead of us or more. This convoy, when we stopped to get ahead of it and then let it pass by, we were outside filming for 45 minutes, Allison, earlier today, and the convoy still hadn't fully passed us. And they were going at a pretty good clip. So this is huge now.
One question I've had watching it is, does everybody stay in like the right lane or something so other people can pass by? Okay. Yes. It doesn't look like it's clogged traffic. Anytime I've actually seen what it looks like on the road, it doesn't look like there's any traffic issue.
No, there only is traffic when we get off on exit ramps. It slows down. We had to go through a toll booth a little while ago, so it slowed down. But there is an etiquette to this. The truckers go out first. So when the convoy leaves in the morning, the trucks roll first. And they're very clear in their messaging. They remind everybody it's on their website. Please let the trucks stay together. Cars full in behind that with your SUVs, with your RVs, whatever it is. They want to prevent what's called the slinky effect, where if you have trucks in line, the car jumps in the middle. Cars can check up on their brakes pretty quickly, but trucks can't. So it causes this like slinky where you get these long separations and short separations, and it makes this slinky effect. And it's difficult to keep a convoy moving when that's constantly happening. So there is a lot of etiquette, and they say stay in the right lane. Unless you want to pass, then buzz on over to the left lane. But actually, for the most part, it's been amazing. There's been zero disruptions. We've had zero incident, period. It has been extremely peaceful and well organized. I give a big shout out to Brian Brazzi and what he and the other organizers have managed to put together. And their messaging is very clear. People just are choosing to ignore it, Allison. They don't go to the website. They don't go to Facebook. They don't go to Instagram. If you go there, they're publicly putting out their peaceful intentions and messaging of unity. It could not be more clear.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me anything about people commenting on stuff without watching the entire video, reading the entire website, or generally educating themselves about what they're complaining about. I'm used to it. So if everybody wants to see everything that Ann talked about, you're gonna have to go to my other platforms if you're watching this on YouTube, because we're just going to be putting the version that's not going to get me suspended on YouTube. But you can also check out Ann's show, The Steel Truth. which is also probably not fully on YouTube either, but you can go to our website.
We've been booted off YouTube 2 years, Allison. It's been 2 years since they kicked us off there. And LinkedIn, imagine that. We got kicked off LinkedIn 2 years ago.
Not surprising. Old news, right? I know. I remember back when I used to complain about getting demonetized as if that was a big deal, like being demonetized. Now it's just a matter of even surviving altogether on the freaking platform, which is increasingly becoming unlikely. So, and any other closing thoughts before you go for people about how big it is, you know, how you think this ends, you know, what you think is the outcome, just like, I guess, any big picture stuff before you wrap it up.
The message that this convoy is sending to Washington, D.C., and frankly sending to the world, is one of peace and unity, and that the government works for us. It is that simple. We will not comply with unconstitutional mandates. We are free people. The Constitution gives us a right to peacefully assemble as we are moving down the highway with our messaging. We're allowed to have our freedom of speech. And frankly, if the government wants to do their job, they need to come and meet with us as we peacefully assemble and list our grievances with them. We are allowed to redress them with our public servants. That is the message. There's nothing to be construed from anything that we're doing that is supposed to be unlawful or violent, for that matter. It is all about peaceful assembly, unity, and love of freedom, period, dot.
Ann Vandersteel, thank you so much for taking the time to do this and dealing with all the issues with cell phone service and whatnot. I appreciate it. Safe travels.
Thank you, Allison.